So I have a little story to tell you. I was doing an Instagram live. I don't know when this video is going out, but it was a week, probably a couple of weeks back. And I really wanted to paint with watercolor on this beautiful, gorgeous 100% cotton paper, perfect for watercolor. Also, I thought it was maybe 5-6 months back. I went to another country, a different country. I don't speak the language, and I went in an art store. I filmed a video here for you, and I bought what I thought was cotton paper. Is not. I paint on Instagram and I start to light down my paint, and I was struggling so much, and I was like, why I cannot place a watercolor on this paper? It's just refusing it. And I think that what I bought is a handmade paper, but not cotton paper. I try to find a picture that I know I have a picture, and if I find it, I'll put it right here. It had a label next to it, and I think at this point is watercolor. If it's cotton color, cotton paper, I don't know why it's refusing my paint. I try to look at the paper back and forth to see if there is a better size. I try to paint a little bit on the back, and it had the same feeling. But you know what? I love a good challenge. I love it. Just love it. I was on a live stream for 15 minutes, so then I decided to just call it a day, because it's so much struggle that it takes me quite a long time to just spread the color around. But I think by the end of the video I got a little bit faster. In the beginning I just was so much in shock that I wasn't understanding what's going on there, that it took me so long. So I call it a day, but I have still so much space on this paper, and I decided to share the feeling of painting in watercolor on an handmade paper with you guys, even if the result is a total bummer. And it is. Do not expect some amazing artwork, because you will be disappointed. All you gain for today's video is the enjoyment of seeing me struggle like crazy in trying to fill up the handmade page, which has a beautiful feeling to it. I've been talking long enough. Let's do what you guys are here for, and is see me struggle. It's time to get started. I am taking my reference from this beautiful, gorgeous book that I find in a charity shop. I paid only £1 for this massive book. I don't know if it's still possible to find it out there, but I will link the name of the book down in the description box. If you guys enjoy botanical and you can get your hands on it, do it, because it can inspire you so much. and it's nice not to have to look at your phone while you painting, but just have a nice colorful page in front of you full of real life goodies. And now I also want to tell you I use Miya watercolor set, and also that is linked in the description. As brushes, I'm using very cheap brushes. They were mix, find it everywhere around. Honestly, I think some were in a watercolor set that I bought for beginners, so really nothing special. This one I'm using right now instead, it was a part of a scroller box, a subscription box for art supplies that I did for a little bit. I don't know if I will start that again anytime soon, to be honest. But yes, you find everything I can linked below, or name, stuff, whatever I can add, it's down. But let's get to this. Let's get to this, guys. Do you see what I'm talking about? This paper is repelling me. Well, it's not repelling me, it's repelling the watercolor. It's, you see, I slide and I don't have a nice slide. I have lots of holes and white space, and I can tell you my brush is loaded. I keep adding water, I keep adding paint, and so do you understand the feeling of being in a live stream and not being able to paint because you thought you were going to test out some gorgeous cotton paper and you end up with some very, very hard watercolor handmade paper? Now, let's try to understand what is the struggle of this. So first of all, sorry, I am trying to spread the color on the paper, and I clearly struggle to do that. I pass my brush around and I still have a white spot. I don't have a nice flowing movement. So this takes so much more of your time to just get the paint down on the paper. But it's also not cost effective because you're using so much more paint to try to get a decent result. So you end up dipping your brush so much more in your paint, and yeah, most of the time you actually gonna have to work with a almost plain pigment. Like adding the water, it's not working that much. So if you add in simple dots like I'm doing right now, that's okay. But if you're expecting to pull a line, that won't be happening. Also, when what you usually have with watercolor, if the surface underneath is wet, which this should still be, instead is drying very quickly, is don't having the color spreading, but the spot that you create is the spot that you having. So there is no movement around. The line you make is the line you stay with. Also, one more issue is as you place in some other color on top of your color, you actually end up pulling all of the colors out and you end up with having a white spot where before there was color. So working layering up color is nearly impossible. Even just one layer of color, it's very hard to do and it's basically impossible to obtain it. I keep taking a paint out, starting with a slightly wet brush, and then I have to end up with an almost dried brush. And as it dries out, it's separate. The paint separates so that the creases of the paper underneath, they show off. Do not ask me what I'm doing now. I just give up on this paper and I'm just plain having fun. Because at least I may not have an artwork to show you guys, but I'm having fun. Is this a boat, a leaf, a flower? I don't know. I give up even on my reference book. It's just, I give up. One more thing that you will experience is the actual paper pulling off. Which is not good at all, and probably this is one of, well, that's all terrible. You cannot work on detail, absolutely. You can forget about detail, you can forget about layering. The only thing you may enjoy is have fun discovering something new, ignoring everything you were meant to do or you were planning to do, and just let go, having a bit of fun, and stop adding water because your pages is ripping off. There are so many beautiful advantages to using watercolor, to using handmade paper, and I'm all for it. But will I use again handmade paper to paint with watercolor? Heck no. Am I curious to paint again on handmade paper and try it with different paint? Oh yes, sign me for it, guys. You know that I am curious as hell about all things art. And after this little touch of craziness that I'm adding around, I call this video done. Oh my, what a journey this has been. Little did I know this morning when I woke up that I will discover how to paint watercolor on an handmade paper. And this is what I love about this channel. It's full of curiosity and unexpected art-related comment. So if you guys had fun today, or you felt even just a little bit sad about me and this crazy experience, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you think you love this sort of content. And yeah, I will bring you more craziness here in this channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys.